G'day everyone, Rach here from, oh you're wobbling, Rara's Stitching Realm. Welcome to a bonus video. If you were watching the end of my last video, you might have seen the steam coming out of my ears, because as I was talking I was thinking maybe I'll make a video and show my finishes, and you can take part in choosing what I take to the retreat for the brag table. And then one of my viewers said the very same thing, and I was like, let's just do it. This is bonus content. It'll give the 500 odd of you who have just joined, I need to stop leaning on the table, the 500 of you who have joined an idea of what I stitch usually outside of my year of samplers that I'm doing this year. So I'm clutching my roll of bigger finishes. I've actually got nothing fully finished. I haven't paid for anything to be framed at this point in time. It is not cheap in New Zealand to get anything framed, and I just haven't. I'd rather spend my money on other things at this point in time. I've got nowhere to hang the stuff anyway, so it's safer. They're rolled up, and I have a drawer here of smaller finishes. So I'm just going to go through and if you feel like you want to take part in or offer some suggestions what you'd like to see on a brag table, choose one thing and put it in the comment below, and I'll pick the two that that's the right way around, isn't it? I'll pick the two that are the most popular. And even just flicking through this little drawer here, there were several things that I had forgotten about. So I have some leanings, but yeah, anyway. So this is a finishing parade. It'll give you an idea of what I've done, as I've said, and as a bonus, if you want to throw out some suggestions, go for it. I will do my best to remember designers. Should be okay for the most part, except for this very first one. Other than I can tell you that it came from one of the Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornament issues. I've actually stitched this twice, I believe, because I love it so much, and this one is actually fully finished. Not the best of finishing, but I'm happy with it. It needs something to hang on it, or it to hang on, or something rather, I don't know. This is Little House Needleworks Sleigh Bells. And I finished this in 2019, and again fully finished, and I even did a little bit of stitching on the back. I've got a couple of, a while back, if it wasn't last year, it was the year before, when I was doing my ping pong balls. One of the categories on the ping pong ball was to fully finish something, so I got some of these smalls done in that time frame. This is yeah, I want to say Tiny Modernist, but I don't know for sure off the top of my head. I'm not going to go through all the charts trying to figure everything out. It's very sweet, and I found some really cool little fabric that matched the colours. So this little doodacky, what's it? Birdhouse. This is from the Just Cross Stitch ornament issue, one of them as well. I've actually got some paper copies of it, like the actual magazine, and I've got the DVD. This is a Blue Ribbon Designs. I've done a few of hers, and these have all come from the Just Cross Stitch ornament issue as well. So I think that's all I've got fully finished. Right, this was a finish last year. This is a Pinebury Lane. I've got my blinds a little bit wide. If someone was to be watching through the window, they'd be wondering what on earth I'm doing, because I'm at the front of the house. I apologise, it's all folded up. I don't think I can get Santa out properly. There he is. So I think I finished that last year. Oh yeah, I think I finished this. Well, I'm not sure actually. This is Country Cottage Needleworks Ornamental Joy, I believe. It's very pretty. This one I had arguments with. This is a Little House Needleworks as well, and I think it's called Peachtree, and it's actually stitched in silk. It came kitted. I brought it as a kit. Did I buy it here as a kit, or did I buy it in England? I really don't remember, but I didn't enjoy the silk on this fabric. This fabric is very soft. But so I think I started it and then I put it away, and then I pulled it out and I just knuckled down and got it done. So that is a Little House Needleworks. I had forgotten about this one. This is Sophia, Summer House Stitchworks, I believe, possibly called for everything. It's stitched on 28 count doubloon with the called for DMC. I think it is fully called for, other than maybe the stitch count might not be the right. That's another little blue ribbon designs. Probably won't take any of the really little tiddler unfinished ones like that, I don't think, because you've got to label them. This is drawn thread. Is it 12 Houses Sampler or House Sampler or something like that? I initially stitched this, or started this, in 1999, and I put it down because it got to specialty stitches and I wasn't going there. But 2018, if you down the very bottom, I already had 1999 on it, so I added the dash in 2018 below, and my back is absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious, but I'm pleased it's finished. I could not tell you the fabric, it's that old. This is a Little House Needleworks. This needs to be cut. Look at that, I've got all this fabric sitting there. Oh, I've forgotten about him too. That's very pretty. Does it actually tell you creek bed brown? So I have a feeling that's the called for linen for that chart as well. We have a Prairie Schooler Santa. Well, it's a Prairie Schooler. It's not one of the traditional Santas, but it's actually very striking. And then this is from the red work Santas, I think that's the correct name for it. I think there are 2 in here actually. Oh, there are 3. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so there's another one from the same booklet. I've forgotten that. And then another one. So I think that's the one you saw, and then there's that one as well. Ooh, I've forgotten about that. I need to do some finishing. Hello, what have we got in here? Oh yeah, Blessed Be with Thy Needle and Thread, and this is stitched on Samakaki, and it will have been the called for threads. I try where possible to stitch on the called for. And this is Shakespeare's Peddler, probably antique scissors and spools, I think this one's called, and this is raw linen and presidential blue. So okay, so that is all the stuff in my drawer. I'll just tidy it up enough. Okay, let's just pause for a moment. Okay, after that little pause, which should be momentarily for you, the courier was walking up and it was just good timing. So I've tidied away the little drawer and I'm now ready to tackle the towel roll. I've laid them on box pile. You can kind of just see there the corner of the, you know, the roll. Just because there's just no room. I've got a ton of boxes that need to go to the dump, plus I've got 2 more that, well, one of them I'm going to keep, one box probably, but anyway, that's for another channel. Right, so the first thing I have to show is my only finish from this year, and this is another raw linen presidential blue. This is Gwen Morrison, and this was designed for the Cross Stitches retreat in Wellington, New Zealand last year, which I didn't go to, but I was able to borrow the chart and stitch the piece as well. So a bit of raw linen, as I said, and another piece of presidential blue. Now, where am I going to lay this lot? This one, I apologise for keep turning, I've just realised. This one is probably a contender, but I'm happy to listen to what you lot all have to say. This is Little House Needleworks. Oh, looky. Orchard Valley Quilting Bee. Gosh, that's so... I haven't looked in this roll for a wee while. Look at that. No, a little bit longer. Gosh, that looks good. I'm looking at it on the screen rather than the back side of it. I'm looking at what I can see on the screen. Gosh, this is a contender. It's big though, but I guess that doesn't matter. I don't know the correct name, or don't remember the correct name for the chart, but this is from the Ooh La La Blackbird Designs. Again, presidential blue on raw linen. It's a pretty little piece. Well, finished in 2019. Wow. Did we finish anything last year then? Okay, another Little House Needleworks. Farmhouse Christmas, I think this is called, isn't it? Farmhouse Christmas. Cool. This one, this is 6 Fat Snowmen by Lizzie Kate, stitched as one piece. And there used to be, I'm assuming there still is, I don't know because she's not designing anymore, but you used to be able to get a free chart that gave you the words and the birdhouse with the 2 birds in the middle there. Not sure if I'm on called for fabric or not. This I got kitted up in England, I think, and I stitched for a bit and then I put it down, and I know that there is someone who is watching my videos from the beginning, so hopefully you won't jump ahead and watch this spoil it, because this I think was the first thing I finished after starting my Flosstube 3 or 4 years ago, whenever I started it. So they're all coming out nice and smooth, having been in the roll. This I have no idea about. I don't even know when I stitched it, other than it was about 30 years ago. The back is pretty appalling as well. This I must have stitched when I lived in the UK. This is not a contender. I'm not going to take this. And I think I got the chart out of a stitching magazine in England. But beyond that, I don't remember anything else about it. And I believe it's finished. I believe that it's fully done. But yeah. Okay. Oh yes, okay. This is a free chart. and it's by Gigi R, and is it just Gigi R? It's Quaker in 6 parts, and there is a Facebook group where you get the chart. And again, presidential blue on raw linen. Look at that's lovely too, looking at it on the screen. I haven't looked at this for a while. Are some of these too big? Like, I'm holding them up looking at you and I'm wondering if they're too big to take for a brag table. Especially because they're not framed. Oh my goodness, we need to cut some fabric off. This is Plum Street Samplers. Oh, what's her name? Harvest Keeper. Is that Harvest Keeper? Look at this. She's got just as much fabric below there. Needs to be cut off. It's pretty too. I just love the red flower on her bum. Okay. The next one is not a contender as well, but it's just in this pile. This is again something I stitched in England many moons ago. It's pretty, but it's a kingfisher. Don't know where I got it from, the chart or anything. I'm assuming I cut the fabric. The edges are all pretty raw and rough. And I think the last thing, gosh, that back's pretty appalling too. The last thing is Little House Needleworks, and this is Neighbourhood, Little House Neighbourhood, Little Neighbourhood. Oh my goodness me, what's it called? Little House Neighbourhood, I think. And this is the first piece that I stitched again after a huge, like 20 or 30 years of stitching, not stitching rather. I helped my little charge in England, was given a cross stitch kit for her birthday, I think, or Hanukkah or something like that, and I helped her do it, and it sparked the interest again, and this was the first piece I went out and got to stitch on. I think it took me about 9 months, but in that time I did some smalls, and I moved from England back to New Zealand, so I didn't finish this till I got back to this side of the world. Yeah, okay, so that's my lot. Yeah, so out of that lot, big or small, it is crossing my mind, are some of them too big? Like Orchard Valley Quilting Bee was in my mind to take, but showing it, holding it up and showing it, I'm wondering if it's too big. I don't know. I've never been to a retreat before that's had a brag table, so share your thoughts. If there's something you saw in my lineup that you would love to have a closer look at, if you saw it at a retreat, shout out the name in the comments and I will go through and see what you choose. And maybe I'll reveal in the Flosstube, because I'll do a Flosstube the day before, or maybe you'll just have to wait and see, and hopefully I can film the brag table. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, I will get this video edited together and I will get this up as a little bonus feature and catch you at the end of next week for regularly scheduled programming. Have a good time, everyone. Bye for now.